Для нас то, что происходит в сегодняшних условиях, на мой взгляд, это хорошо.
A former intelligence officer, Vladimir Putin, is the president of Russia since 2012, and previously from 1999 until 2008. So, what are Vladimir Putin's luxury assets before and after fame? Let's find it out in this video. Current news around Putin. There has been long-standing speculation that Russian President Vladimir Putin uses body doubles to stand in for him at public engagements for health or security reasons, but the Kremlin ridiculed the rumors Tuesday. Asked by reporters to comment on an unsourced report on a Russian Telegram channel claiming Putin had suffered a serious health episode on Sunday, a report picked up by some Western media outlets nonetheless, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov laughed. Everything is fine with him. This is absolutely another fake, Peskov said, according to a Reuters translation, denying a further question on whether Putin uses any body doubles. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to help us growing. First, who is Vladimir Putin? Vladimir Putin, in full, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, born October 7, 1952, Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, Russian intelligence officer and politician who serves as the President of Russia. Early career Putin studied law at Leningrad State University. Putin served 15 years as a foreign intelligence officer for the KGB, Committee for State Security, including 6 years in Dresden, East Germany. In 1990, he retired from active KGB service with the rank of lieutenant colonel and returned to Russia to become pro-rector of Leningrad State University with responsibility for the institution's external relations. In 1996, Putin moved to Moscow, where he joined the presidential staff as deputy to Pavel Borodin, the Kremlin's chief administrator. On December 31, 1999, Yeltsin unexpectedly announced his resignation and named Putin acting president. Promising to rebuild a weakened Russia, the austere and reserved Putin easily won the March 2000 elections with about 53% of the vote. In late 2021, Putin ordered a massive buildup of Russian forces along the Ukrainian border. Additional units were dispatched to Belarus, ostensibly to engage in joint exercises with the Belarusian military. A lot going on around Russian and Putin. As he worked in different positions through the years until he became the president, there is not much known online about his assets before being a public figure in the world. What are Vladimir Putin's luxury assets today? 1 real estate portfolio. The Grand Kremlin Palace. The Grand Kremlin Palace was formerly the Tsar's Moscow residence. As of 2023, the Grand Kremlin Palace is the current residence of the Russian president, where official events are held. For example, the inauguration of the President of Russia takes place in the Hall of the Order of St. Andrew. It was built from 1837-1849 on the site of the estate of the Grand Princes, which had been established in the 14th century on Borovitsky Hill. Its construction involved the demolition of the previous Baroque palace on the site, designed by Rastrelli, and the Church of St. John the Baptist, constructed to a design by Aloisio the New, in place of the first church ever built in Moscow. The Grand Kremlin Palace is 125 meters long and 47 meters high. The total area of the complex exceeds 25,000 square meters. In plan, the Grand Kremlin Palace is presented in the form of a square with a small cour d'honneur, in the center of which was the Church of the Savior on Baru, demolished in the 1930s. The main facade of the complex faces the Kremlin embankment, with the palace's Annunciation entrance overlooking Sobornaya Square. Comment your thoughts about this estate, and take a second to like and subscribe to the channel. Next, residents in the suburbs of Moscow. After storming to victory in the March 2000 presidential election, Putin selected Novo Ogaro as his official suburban Moscow home. The Swish property, which served as a state residence and guest house for foreign dignitaries during the Soviet era, is where Putin spends much of his time. It was also where he isolated during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Incredibly, the Russian leader was granted the right to reside in the property for good at the end of his second presidential term in 2008. Though Putin doesn't own it per se, he might as well since the Russian leader effectively has use of it forever. The residence is located in the elite neighborhood of Rubliovka to the west of Moscow. Dubbed Russia's Beverly Hills, the locale is loaded with billionaires' mansions, high-end fashion stores, supercar dealerships, and other trappings of extreme wealth. Over the years, the dictator has renovated and added to the estate, creating an exceedingly lavish compound. Among the reported features are a 6-story reception building, a private hospital, a vast sports and well-being complex, an ice rink, a pool, a luxe log cabin, a private church for Putin and his family, a heliport, and a private bridge. Let's go on with his summer residence in Sochi. Among Putin's other official residences is Richest, the Russian president's summer resort of Sochi, where the 2014 Winter Olympic Games were held. Dating from 1955, the president's warm season residence has hosted a number of world leaders, including former U.S. President George W. Bush, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and former British Prime Minister David Cameron, while it's said to feature 2 pools and a helipad. The Soviet-era part of the complex isn't as lavish as the leader's other residences. However, a new, more imposing wing was constructed in 2014, coinciding with the Winter Olympic Games held that year in Sochi. Style-wise, it's drawn comparisons to the pared-down 1930s neoclassicism Putin's Constantine Palace in St. Petersburg. Putin idolizes Peter the Great and shares the 18th century leader's aspiration of returning Russian lands to a wider empire, much to the detriment of the Ukrainian people. It's fitting, therefore, that the land-hungry president oversaw the transformation of the grandiose Constantine Palace, aka the Konstantinovsky Palace, in St. Petersburg, which is now the heart of an official presidential residence called the National Congress Palace. Construction of the property was started by Peter the Great, though it was completed after his death. He envisaged the property as a place for him to stay in his hometown, as well as a showcase pad to host foreign heads of state and prestigious international conferences. The renovation of the palace, which boasts more than 1,000 rooms, was quite the undertaking, to say the least. 8 subcontractors, 70 companies, and thousands of workers toiled away on the project, which is reported to have cost around $200 million. Now we have a very interesting property, Putin's unofficial Black Sea Palace. Back in 2012, opposition politicians Boris Nemtsov and Leonid Martinyuk co-authored a report in which they claimed to highlight Putin's official and unofficial residences, along with other eye-popping assets the president has access to. All in all, the duo uncovered details of 20 uber-luxurious properties and compared Putin's lifestyle to that of a Persian Gulf monarch or a flamboyant oligarch. The long list of unofficial residences identified by the report includes the mega mansion on the Black Sea coast dubbed Putin's Palace, which is said to have cost an eye-watering $1.4 billion. Construction of the mega mansion, which sits on an estate 39 times the size of Monaco near the resort town of Gelendzhik, began in 2005, and the property has reportedly been rebuilt several times due to problems with mold. What an insane price for a massive palace. Comment your opinion about it and subscribe to not miss any videos. 2 luxury timepieces. The Russian president boasts one of the most impressive collections of watches in politics. First, Felipe Perpetual Calendar Moon, Phase. Arguably the crown jewel in his collection is the Felipe Perpetual Calendar Moon, Phase from Swiss watchmaker Patek Philippe, crafted in 18K rose gold. This piece cost around $129,000. Next, Lange & Söhne Turbograph Perpetual. The Turbograph Perpetual Lange & Söhne is regarded as one of the finest watches in Russian President Vladimir Putin's watch collection. The watch features a blued steel hands for a classic and elegant look. The timepiece is quite complex and costs around $560,000 with only 50 pieces produced. Blancpain Lemon Aqualung Grande Date, opting for the 40mm version in brushed stainless steel and a transparent sapphire crystal caseback, which offers a clear view of the self-winding movement. The third watch was purportedly thrown into liquid concrete at a construction site, as it shows how Putin has no value in it, despite its price of $11,700. 3. Luxury car collection. Urus Senate limousine. Ever since the public got the images of the seemingly Rolls-Royce-inspired Urus Senate limousine, the car community has been buzzing about the production version of this car. As it turns out, it may as well be the case in the future, since the Urus limousine has plenty to offer. Of course, it's completely protected and bulletproof, making it a ride worthy of a man with such reputation as the President of Russia. This car in total cost around $1.2 million. Mercedes-Benz S600 Guard Pullman. Before the Urus limousine, the Pullman was the car of choice for the president. The Russian leader's S600 Guard Pullman is longer and more luxurious than the long wheelbase version of the standard Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Like his new Urus Limo, the Mercedes-Benz S600 Guard Pullman has been heavily armored to take on AK-47 fire, grenades, landmines, and chemical gases. We don't know how much Putin spent on his S600s, but back in 2016, a 1995 Mercedes-Benz S600 Pullman Guard, which was likely used by the Russian government before Vladimir Putin first took office as prime minister in 1999, came up for sale. Then, the Moscow-based private seller Sergei Urov wanted $1.3 million for the Mercedes-Benz S600 Pullman Guard, a limo that probably cost around $500,000 when it was new. 4. Luxury traveling. Let's look inside Vladimir Putin's lavish private jet. Nope, this isn't a flashy hotel. This is the opulent presidential plane Vladimir Putin spends most of his time traveling on. Here you can enjoy a view of a plane that cost around $700 million. It's equipped with a spacious office, bedroom, gym, and a luxurious bathroom featuring a gold-plated toilet. Judging by the photos, it's fair to say the president has a penchant for all things glitzy. The interiors on board the plane are decked out in gold trimming, including the toilet and the bathroom sink. But perhaps the most gobsmacking addition to the plane is this room. If the president is keen to fit a workout in before he touches down, he has the option thanks to this fully equipped gym on board the vessel. A gym this size would be impressive to have in a house, let alone a private jet. The meeting room on the jet is just as swanky as the rest of the plane. A golden Russian coat of arms is embroidered into each of the plush white chairs, which sit around a gold-trimmed conference table. Bedroom or a hotel suite. For those longer flights, Putin can retire to his luxurious king-sized bed 38,000 feet in the sky. For extra security, Putin has 3 additional private jets, identical to this one, that act as decoys. What do you think about this beauty? Wouldn't it be interesting to see now also the video, where we delve into the world of world star singer Justin Bieber and his luxury assets before and after fame? Quite a crazy adventure, that's for sure. So click the link in the description to watch his journey of how he became one of the world's most popular singers with all his different luxury assets. We love interacting with you in the comments, so drop us a message and let us know which personality you want to see next. Until then, stay curious, stay creative, and keep exploring.